Hey guys, I decided I'm gonna make some YouTube videos again, and I wanted to make a series of financial education. So this is called Financial Freedom, Episode 1 with Side Hustles. Here's my description of what you do with, or what is a side hustle. I think of it as maybe even a small business that you can, well, depending on which route you take, it could be scalable. Also, again, with which route you take, there will be no exit costs, mostly because most people are gonna go into something with a low risk, low starting cost, little entrance costs, and when you do that, you're not taking on any debt. And the only reason I can see that you are gonna have exit costs if you have debt that you still need to pay off. And then the thing about side hustles, it's mostly based off of your social performance. So, you gotta get the word around to people that you're doing what you're doing to make sales happen. So, I'm gonna start this off with which route you want to take. Do you want it to be good that you're selling, or do you want it to be a service? Um, so for goods, you have a lower profit margin. You typically are going to be making more sales than compared to a service, and if you're buying inventory, you're going to have a higher cost of entry just because you have to buy the inventory that you're going to be selling. You know what I mean? And then with services, you have high profit margins because mostly you're just selling your labor, unless you want to incorporate the cost of entrance into your uh, total costs of the service you're selling. Also, on top of it, it's a learnable skill, and even let's say you quit doing the the side hustle, you still have that skill. And also, once again, it has a low cost of entry. But both options are good, and I'll show you soon why. Examples of goods you can sell are you can do vending machines. I like this a lot, mostly because of the sort of passive income you have. Well, obviously, it's passive income until you have to refill them. But the cost of entry or to buy a vending machine is either, if you want to buy one like this, it's going to be like $200, but you're not making much like whatsoever if you sell the whole entire thing, which is probably going to take a while, I think, because they're like gumballs and stuff. But if you have like a regular vending machine used or maybe new, it's like 2 grand. But if you want to have like a really nice one, it's like 4 to 5 grand. But you're just starting out, so why would you need that? Next, you're going to be needing the snacks and drinks and all of that. So your inventory is going to be between one to, I'm going to say, no more than $200. Deciding like depending on how uh, full you want the vending machine. Yeah, like I said, benefits, passive income, and there's about zero marketing cost. The only thing you need to focus on is going to locations and uh, asking the owners if you can put your vending machine there. That's about it. My next one is snacks, candy, selling snacks, candy, and drinks. I'm just thinking like, let's say you're in high school or something, or maybe you're at a foot outside of a foot at a tailgate, and you have like a little basic your own little concessions you can make. It's not very scalable until you have like an actual location. So this is like this one's honestly only good if you're like in high school to be fair. Um, Inventory $100 to $200. I'm only listing so few things only because I'm like you're just doing this on the side. It's not a full business you're making out here. But obviously you can scale these up too. But Like I could have probably put e-commerce on here, but I'm focusing more on low entrance costs, side hustles, and e-commerce is very expensive to start up due to the inventory you have to buy. A lot more than $100 to $200. Next, we have drop shipping. Drop shipping, I like a lot. Obviously, you have a low startup cost. You just got to get like a website or something. No inventory space needed. That's because you're gonna be ordering your stuff right from the manufacturer or whatever it may be, and then you need a platform to sell. Like I said, it may be a website or your social media platforms that'll go to a website. Unfortunately, though, drop shipping is very competitive. Uh, I I have a very I'm very bad at marketing for this stuff, so I've tried drop shipping before, and it hasn't worked out for me because I just am very bad at marketing, I feel like. Also, because of drop shipping, you're selling a product and just giving it straight to the manufacturer. They're pretty low profit margin. I don't know. I don't know if I explained that very well, but it's just because let's say, you know, you see a product on Amazon for 25, and because you're you're gonna be like probably buying one at a time from the manufacturer, the cost is gonna be a lot higher than if you bought in bulk because you're gonna be buying one each time for the person that buys it. So the profit margin isn't really there. So let's say the manufacturer sells it for like 20 or so, uh, and Amazon it's like 25. It's a low profit margin. Also, you rely heavily on the supplier. So if the supplier messes up or anything, your business, your things, you can just say goodbye to it, honestly. But at the same time, though, it's just a side hustle. It doesn't really matter. You can basically just use like Facebook Marketplace or something like that just to start, and it absolutely takes $0 to start. So, might as well try, see if you can do something with that. Maybe uh, I've tried drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace. Most of the times, they want to see another picture of it or something, and that's where I'd say maybe get a sample one and then just have that for yourself to take a picture so the customer feels like you're not scamming them because I think that's what happened to me and I just kind of quit on it. Um, so maybe it does cost you a little bit, but it's really nothing. Like if you're worried about that, then maybe you shouldn't be starting a side hustle at all because it's gonna take, like you can see here, maybe upwards of 2 grand. If you really think about it, you gotta put yourself into a situation where you want to make more money, and it's not gonna be free. You can't. There's no way where you're gonna make money for free besides like a job. But then you're spending all your time with that. So yeah. Next is examples of services. So first uh, I give you an example. Just these are all just examples though. Your limits don't stop here. The one I do is power washing. Startups a grand or 2 grand. Good skill if you're a homeowner. You can wash your house and stuff as well. It's very scalable. You can just hire employees and cut the time down to do it. Uh, Little cost for completing services. Gas and labor and chemicals. And then also maybe want to incorporate the cost of equipment breaking. Um, I will say though, you're only going to be needing to do a customer's house or whatever it is about once a year. Unless it's commercial, then it could be very frequent, depending on what it is. But even though it is only once a year, it's high ticket, so you aren't gonna be making about you're only you're making about like 50 to $150 an hour with this, so it's pretty good money. Now, next, lawn care. I think everyone knows what this is. To start up 200, 500. Uh, it's very frequent, but low ticket. Next, we have homework helper. Zero startup costs, which is great, but you need to be good at the subjects that they are. If you want to do people's homework for them and they're going to pay you to do it, you got to get a good grade. And you're not going to keep customers if you're giving them bad grades. They're going to be so mad at you and they're going to want their money back. And you'll be like, oh, my bad. And that's where you go wrong. But I feel like this is only good if you're in school, obviously. And then last, I wanted to mention outsourcing. You can outsource all of these services that I just mentioned, and you know, you, the the creativity doesn't end here. You can do whatever service you want. It doesn't have to be any of these listed. It could be, graphic designs for all I care. But you can outsource all of these, and the only problem is it's going to be low profit margins, and you're going to be spending most of your time marketing for it. It's going to be low profit margin though because you have to sell it basically to not really sell, but you're paying someone else to do it, so you're only taking the profit from the customer.